Hi, this is the Meals app that I've made using the MealDB API. This is the home page. We are using the chicken, and this when we say chicken, we get individual card items about all the chicken. We can add this into our favorites, and if we click on the details, we get the details about it. We can read the details of how it's made and what. Um, if we want them, then we can add them, and we go to the favorites. We'll get all the food items that we have added to the favorites. Here we can choose to remove it, or we can choose to get the details of it. If we click on get details, we'll get the heading, the image, and how to cook it. And every page has a that heading, this nav bar, and the footer. And let's jump to the implementation of this, like how we have made this. So basically, here we have the index.html page. Every page has common heading, navigation bar, and this form input, and then the footer and the script tag. Same with this footer, script tag, and with the favorite.html we have uh, heading and navbar. Readers.html we have the same footer, heading, navbar, and we have individual div items here where we inner HTML different things depending upon our needs. So here we have the styles.css for everything, for footer, for navbar, for heading, for the body, for food card, and the various div items. So let's jump to the app.js. So app.js, we have the URLs. We are taking the various inputs here. Here we are getting the handle, get details, or add to favorites. So if the target value is details, then we are finding its parent elements, we're finding the ID, and we're getting the data, and then we're calling the meal recipe model function. If it's favorites, then it means we have to add to the favorites. So here's the function implementation of adding to the favorites. We are using local storage for it. The meal storage dot this will open a separate window, and we will we are passing the meal data parameter. So it's basically an array. The zeroth part of the array, there is a key called string source, which is an address. So that address will open into a new window, and basically shows the entire details about it. So this is the middle details, or this is the render favorites. So if we have something in favorites, this function will render it. So we are taking a URL, we are transversing the entire local storage. We are pushing every element of this local storage into the array. So if the array is empty, then we are doing nothing. We say that we'll render that no items in this favorite. Otherwise, then for each we will run the find food favorite. So find food favorite will come to this. First, let's see find food. Find food function is the initial function. So basically this function, when we hit on enter in this here, then find food function will run. So find food function will take the address, and it will take the input data, and then it will find the data using the fetch, and then if the data is not null, then it would on an empty variable which is set on HTML, which is then a string variable set to nothing initially. It will add append this HTML element, and finally this HTML element will be appended into meal list. Find food favorite is the same function. We'll take the address, we'll fetch the data, and then we'll make another element, and we'll inner HTML in the meal list favorite. Here we have the two buttons, remove and get details in food favorites. In here we have add and details. So for remove and details, the remove will remove it. So here we have on click, we have set this to this function check ID this, and details get food details this. So check ID this will return the reference of that element. We're finding its parent element, fetching the address, and then removing it from the local storage. Get food details, we are finding the parent, and again we're getting the reference of the element, finding its parent element, and using the get attribute we're finding a data ID, and then on local storage we are setting up a key value pair. The key is the food key, and the value will be the ID. And then on a separate page we are opening the details.html. This is the onload function which takes the form, which adds event listener to the various forms on the meal list, on the meal list favorites, and finally we are rendering the favorites. So here the app2.js is, so we are on load, on when the window is completely loading, then we are running the get details function. Here from the local storage we are getting what is the corresponding value of the key, food key, and then that food key, that is the ID actually, and we are fetching it We are fetching data using the MealDB API, using the food ID here. Whatever data we are being returned, that is an array, and then we are traversing that array. We are finding out the heading, the instructions, and the thumbnail picture, and then we are inner HTMLing it to the our development, various development. So this is the entire project, and once again I'll show you this. Details will open this. Uh, and adding it to the favorites will open this, and if you click on remove, it can be removed. So that's it. I hope you like the project, and thank you.